G'day, the author David Applegate here. You'll probably know me from Coffee and Gaming. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And of course, I have some news regarding Furiosa. As you know, the sequel to Mad Max was the fourth movie, Fury Road. This is a prequel to that, covering the story of Furiosa, who is played by Anna Taylor-Joy, and she will be facing off against Chris Hemsworth. There's also a little bit of period covering younger. So we've got younger and preteen Furiosa. The script does come from Miller, the creator of the franchise. However, back when the movie was announced, it was given a release date of 2023. But of course, things happen. One of those things was earlier this year, a flood, which ruined the set. Now, when Mad Max returned after a 30-year hiatus, it was a pretty good movie. Max, Tom Hardy, did not receive as much praise as initially expected, given his level of fame. However, a lot of people were merely critical of the fact that Hardy was a younger man playing a much older Max. Max would have, it's 30 years in the timeline. But 30-something Max should have been 60-something Max, not 40-something Max. Also, they wanted to see more of Dog, or at least, or at least learn a little bit more about what happened as well. A lot of people, understandably, wanted a little bit of the Mad Max game, where hey, give us this story of the past told through the ruins, which didn't happen. Fury Road was more fast-paced and pretty much accelerated, much like most action movies, from set piece to set piece, very quickly to a final battle, rather than lingering on character and story development. But it was still a good movie for what Mad Max is, and that is the drifter trope. He drifts in and out of trouble and eventually comes, on to action. And in case of Fury Road, it was Furiosa and her struggles with Joe. Now, we don't have a definitive answer on Joe, but what we have is Chris Hemsworth as one of the movie's villains. He will be a bike gang leader. Named Dementus, that was leaked possibly on purpose to the media, but it has been confirmed that it's Hemsworth. We don't know whether or not he is actually the younger Immortan Joe, but Chris Hemsworth is getting down and dirty and isn't going to be a bit of a meanie, apparently. got to get a chance to play one of the two tyrants battling it out for control of their little green spot of the wastelands. Now, the 26-year-old actress is far from her polished appearance last seen on the cover of Vanity Fair. Rather different appearance. But she's wearing a glove. That's, as we know, for the missing hand. We have a look that she's, after being through makeup, they've stained her clothes, done a bit of a vinegar wash to her hair, probably. Get that, then got in there with a bit of fruit gel or something to make her hair sticky. Food color gel, to get the dark spots, get the greased look. But of course we have various shirtless men running around set who are playing various villains. But what we have is a lot of, as you notice, green screens. Now, there's no talk yet of whether or not Max is in this, and there's also no talk of exactly how the timeline of Furiosa. Now, Furiosa apparently, whereas Fury Road was a 3-day action adventure romp, Furiosa covers a period of Furiosa's life over 15 years. We have a young, somewhere between 7 and 10, in her early 20s, and then possibly before Max's appearance towards the end. We have people on horseback as well as motorbikes. We do have lots of minor roles where we have large numbers of people carrying woven baskets, possibly scavengers going through what's left of a town. But there's there's the tyrants who in their leather kilts. There's the survivors in who riding bikes, some horseback. There also various other figures who behind the scenes of the overseers of this little green spot in the desert. But there hasn't been much provided other than the fact that most of the set is green screen, so there isn't much to know what town they're in, at what time, from what the media has seen on set. They've been told very little about the story. Apparently it was quite cold, of course. Chris Hemsworth's wife was giving out blankets to the extras. I've actually been to where this movie was being filmed. Back then it was something else was being filmed, and I was pretty young, and went out to see if we could see the movie stars. But it's pretty windy, pretty cold out there, especially since it was in winter. But they had no choice. They had to resume filming as soon as they could, and then with the rains after the rains ruined their summer filming. So they had no choice but to press on. And perhaps this cold, chilled look made everybody practically miserable. Probably it's going to add to the film. But there's a huge cast of extras. Now, there's actually huge tents, and inside these tents, as you can see, nothing. So, but the green edges, so the possibly caves. But most of the set is green screen. But a lot of the set, what we don't see here, this is it's surrounded by green hills. All this grass has been laid out, but you can see there's lots of dirt, lots of mud, lots of dirt and muddy areas. There's also, here we go, this is where the vehicles have been driven around. They've been, right, as you can see, there's been lots of riding of bikes, practicing, few coming across each other's. It just gives you some idea of how big the set is. So they're up on the hill, overlooking the down below. This is up at the top of the hill. As you can see, more green screens, light reflectors. So there's going to be angles of shots, possibly up to that line there. Now, Furiosa is okay. Furiosa is a prequel. It's going to cover a period. See, Mad Max to Mad Max 2 was 15 years. Sorry. But from Mad Max to Mad Max 2 was 5 years, and then another 15 years on top of that. Then another few years to possibly, this is 30 years. So this is 15 years. This is another 15 years that would fit in with the Mad Max Fury Road. Pretty much they're filling in this gap here. They're not adding too much to the lore, but a lot of people want the lore filled in. They thought the games would do it, but there you go. We have a saga within a single movie with a possible 2-hour to 3-hour runtime. We don't have much else, unfortunately. All the stories, all the rumors, nothing can be confirmed. But there's possibly 2 rival gangs, and Furiosa having to choose a side, and then she has to lead the side, or at least prove herself to that side, and take out the other. There's a possible relationship with Hemsworth, but we don't have any idea of Max, and we don't have nothing to indicate that Max will be in it. But of course, they have promised 2 surprises, so we'll find out who the second. So we'll find out soon enough, and I'll fill you in, and I'll give you any spoilers if they appear. But so far, they've been pretty tight-lipped, giving you just enough information to know what to expect. But I think I'm looking forward to this. I looked forward to Fury Road. I liked Fury Road, and I hope all the disputes behind the scenes are not going to crop up again. That they will just finish the movie, put out their best work, update the Mad Max universe, put out Fury Road, the game, and fill in the lore. Because I think that will bring back the audience, that the long delays and the infighting. because Warner Brothers has committed to this movie and said they are considering Mad Max 5. So, if this is a success, we'll get Mad Max 5 and the Mad Max 2 game that has been sitting on the shelves now, as you know. There is a Mad Max game. There was supposed to be a follow-up to that, Fury Road. To fill in a lot of lore, Miller had a hissy fit over some of the stuff that they released in the Mad Max game. And hopefully this time we'll get the Fury Road release and we'll get to play Max from Gastown and to the final, to Immortal Joe and all those, and then find out what's beyond the storm. But there's possibly, those are all things that people want answered, and I think we're going to get them. Whether, just hope we're not waiting another 30 years. Thank you for listening.